everyone, it's Milian. Nice to see you all again. And after a very long time, I have another review for you today. Today we'll be talking about the Huawei Nova 9 SE. And honestly, it's been a while since I've covered Huawei, with my last video being on the Huawei MatePad Pro, which I still use today, by the way. Anyways, before we start, I want to get the elephant out of the room. I'm sure you guys all know that a couple of months before, there was an issue with Huawei not having Google services on their devices. And as a Huawei fan, I'm very happy to say that that issue has been sort of solved. And the reason why I say sort of solved is because though Google services aren't exactly coming back, there are ways to circumvent this issue, which I will be talking about more on later. But going back to our main topic, let's start by opening the Huawei Nova 9 SE. First things first, upon opening the box, we of course have our unit itself in the color pearl white. And underneath that, we have a little app gallery pamphlet along with our IMEI stickers, which include information about your device, which is really important if you need it for warranty. And then sa baba naman, you have your little box, which includes our SIM pin, our warranty card, and our quick start guide. And of course, our very important jelly case na hindi mawawala sa mga Huawei devices natin. And lastly, of course, you have our 66-watt charging head and as well as our Type-C cable. Overall, I really enjoyed the design of the Huawei Nova 9 SE. Visually, it looks really premium and stands out to me out of all of the mid-range smartphones in the market, as the Nova 9 SE features a glass back and of course our wonderful quad camera. Yes, a quad camera, which my opinion looks really elegant. That said though, the back does get fingerprints on it easily, but that can be fixed by putting on a jelly case provided in the box. The Huawei Nova 9 SE has dimensions of 164.6 by 75.6 by 7.9 millimeters and features a 1080 by 2388 pixel IPS LCD display and an 89.5 screen-to-body ratio and around 387 ppi for density, which is actually fairly decent for its price point and delivers good display quality, which in my opinion looks better compared to other IPS LCD displays that I've tried out before. For weight naman, the Nova 9 SE is actually really light at 191 grams, which is perfect if you're the type na medyo nangangalay while using heavier phones like me. That aside, in the front is where you can find our 16-megapixel punch-hole selfie camera. And sa side is where you can find our volume rocker and our power button, which acts as a fingerprint scanner. Sa very top is where you can find your dual SIM tray and secondary mic. And sa pinakababa is where you can find your primary mic, Type-C charging port, and your speaker. And of course, last but not the least, we have the back where we can find our quad camera. In terms of the camera, I was surprised to know that the Nova 9 SE's rear camera setup was a quad and not a dual setup, as your eyes are immediately drawn to the large 108-megapixel main lens and what I'm assuming to be the 8-megapixel ultra-wide lens. The other two lenses, which is your 2-megapixel macro lens and your 2-megapixel depth perception lens naman, are actually situated in the middle of the two very large lenses. For camera quality, I have to say that I really enjoy the rear camera of the Nova 9 SE, as I find that it outperforms some phones na similarly priced sa market today. Though it does lack a bit in terms of the pinaka features of the camera, like one being the lack of a night mode in ultra-wide setting, but it's not really something that I miss that much, so it's fine. But that said, what I find really great about the Nova 9 SE's camera is that it has a dual video option, which allows for rear mode. And rear mode, for those who aren't very familiar with the term yet, allows you to take videos of a particular object on one side of the screen and allows you to take another video of the entire scene in the other half of your screen, which I find really convenient, especially for those who are really into vlogging. Aside from that, dual video option allows for front rear mode, which allows you to take a video of your face whilst taking a video of whatever your camera is seeing right in front of you. Which in my mind is perfect for people who really want to take videos of their memories or just want to travel vlog. But of course, para makita ninyo talaga, I will be taking you with me to test it out. Hello everyone! So as promised, dinala ko kayo sa labas. And Gamit ko ngayon ang Huawei Nova 9 SE. So, ang maganda dito sa dual video option niya is that, as said nga kanina, you can use your front cam and rear camera at the same time. Though, medyo shaky lang talaga ang rear cam, pero okay na siya for vlogging. No? Chink! Ay, dito pala camera. Chink! While you're in front rear mode sa dual video option, you can switch it kaagad. So, as you can see, we have our focus cam and then our wide cam. And since I'm reviewing the Huawei Nova 9 SE, Nova din ang aking t-shirt for today. And of course, we have our 16 megapixel selfie camera, which I find to be really good, especially when paired up with Huawei's AI technology, which in my opinion really enhances selfies without making you look waxy like some other AI filters can do, as this looks pretty natural. Performance-wise, the Nova 9 SE uses EMUI 12 for its OS and runs on a 6nm Qualcomm Snapdragon 680 octa-core processor, an Adreno 610 GPU, 8GB of RAM, and 128GB of UFS 2.1 storage, which is actually pretty good and more than enough to run most games on high definition comfortably. But if you're playing FPS games like Call of Duty, you're stuck having low frame rates by default if you're playing on high definition. So I personally find playing on medium would probably give you the best gaming experience. And since I mentioned the OS na, I honestly feel like Huawei did a pretty good job in developing their own OS. The OS feels snappy and not laggy at all, and I really don't have anything to complain about regarding the lack of G Suite since there are workarounds around it. And if not for the fact that my school uses a platform which requires G Suites, I don't think I really would be able to notice it. But if you're someone who's super duper reliant on G Suites, G Space might be a bit inconvenient just because it just doesn't perform in the same way that you would expect your G Suites app to work. That aside, I really don't see any issue with it. Though if you find yourself in the event where you have a drained battery, the Nova 9 SE comes with a 66W Type-C fast charger, which in my experience can charge your phone from 0 to 100 in around 45 minutes, which is pretty good for its price point. That said, the Nova 9 SE is not reverse charging or wireless charging compatible, so if that's something you want to keep in mind, there you go. All in all, I find the Nova 9 SE to be a pretty good contender in the mid-range smartphone market, especially with its price at $13,999, as it does fairly well in all of the categories that I've mentioned so far. Personally, I find that the Nova 9 SE would be good for people who are either trying to get into vlogging or for young people who are trying to get a phone that is reliable in terms of its performance and doesn't break the bank as much. But in addition to that, I just really enjoy the design of the Huawei Nova 9 SE, as not only is it a really good forma phone, maganda din ang performance niya. With that said, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to leave me a thumbs up and please remember to leave a comment down below, as it really does help me out. My name was Leanne and see you all next time. Bye!